You're safe to really listen to your internal guidance system. Humans have this incredible internal guidance system, and nowadays we're kind of just spending a lot of our time just numbing ourselves with screens and junk food, overworking ourselves, living up to unrealistic standards and expectations. There's not a mainstream system that really teaches us how to actually connect with our internal guidance system and really listen to it, to really hone in on it, to really just build up the skill of being able to listen to it and then act on it. So your internal guidance system is this full integration of your nervous system, your instincts, your intuition, your emotions, paying attention to your energy levels, a lot of your thoughts, your core values, and even more. And you're safe to trust the path that all this stuff is really pulling you down. You're safe to trust the path that it's trying to tell you to go down. And this is really tricky because there's so much chaos in the internal world. There's so much confusion. There can be so much turmoil and struggle that it kind of like muddies the water, and it's really hard to just even pay attention to it and then even listen to it and to really just like listen to it accurately. So your internal world constantly gives you messages. It doesn't actually really stop, right? Maybe in one moment it's telling you that like you're safe to rest, right? And you're just kind of resting. It feels rejuvenating. In another moment it's telling you to exert energy, right? Maybe you're exerting energy because you're exercising or you're doing some kind of creative project, right? And then that also feels rewarding. Maybe you're doing something and it feels draining. You're at a job you don't like and you just always feel exhausted. You habitually feel frustrated. And then you even have thoughts of just, I don't like my job. I hate my job. Right? So essentially in this video, I'm just trying to tell you that you're safe to really trust a lot of these messages that your internal guidance system is telling you. And you really have to practice listening to it. This is a very essential part, that without practicing listening to it, you won't be able to really hear it very well, and you're going to kind of confuse yourself about it. Just like how if you wanted to get good at basketball, right, you go to basketball practice, right, if you're playing for a team. It's the same thing with your internal guidance system. You need to have that structured time to just learn to pay attention to it. And a very powerful way to do that is through mindfulness meditation, having time to just unplug from the external world, right? Let go of your responsibilities for now and just tune into yourself. Learn how to be present with yourself. Learn how to be in your body. Learn how to be present in your body. Right now, if I were to ask you the question of where do you find yourself existing in your body? Is it just kind of on the surface, in the front? Or is it really just in your head? Or is it like not even in your body? Do you just feel very completely disconnected from it? Or is it really just like present from the core of your body, like really present all throughout your body? Right? If I were to really begin to ask you, what do you typically feel? What would your response be? And you want to get to the point where you're able to just be present, inhabiting your body, because it's telling you all these things. It's telling you about your internal guidance system. That's where the messages are really coming through. You're safe to really listen to your energy levels, right? You're safe to listen to your authentic instincts. You're safe to listen to your authentic expression. And we have so much conditioning that just like closes us and shuts us down from that. A lot of beliefs, a lot of just ingrained patterns, a lot of repressed emotion, a lot of triggers, etc. So your internal world can really give you some very life-altering advice. Maybe it means you have to work less because you're habitually exhausted. Maybe it means that you need to spend more time with your family because you're feeling so disconnected from them and your heart feels like contracted because of it. Maybe it means that you need to learn how to open up to other people and be more vulnerable. Because again, maybe your heart feels kind of contracted, it feels numb, it feels dull, it feels tense, right? If I were to ask you, is there tension in your body, right, as you kind of live your life, what would your response be? It would most likely be yes. There's probably tension in your gut. There could be contractions in the heart. Maybe your body just feels numb. Maybe your shoulders are raised. Maybe like your jaw's clenched, or like your head's always kind of contracted, right? You're just like always like mad, maybe a little mad, right? And there's a difference between necessary contractions, because maybe you're walking and you got to contract muscles in order to walk, and then contractions done out of fear and just like repression, basically. So again, your internal world, your internal guidance system, can really tell you profound things. Maybe you have to quit your job because it's not a good fit with you. Maybe it's telling you that you should just take some time off. Maybe it means that you got to find a job. Maybe you got to start a business. Maybe you got to start a creative project. Maybe you got to start a meditation practice. Maybe you got to start a reading habit. Maybe you got to start exercising. Maybe it means you have to socialize more. Maybe it means you have to socialize less. Maybe it means you got to exercise a little bit less. Take a bit of a rest sometimes. So again, it's like you got to build up this ability to just kind of constantly attune to your internal world, and then like trust the path that it's putting you on. And of course, we're not taught how to do this ever in mainstream society. A lot of things kind of pull us away from that. A lot of mainstream society really just pulls us away from that. And it's really our job to just really tune into ourselves. No one's going to do this for you. Right? It's really up to you to learn to do it, to practice it, to listen, and then to act on it. Right? Growing up in school, we're not taught, unfortunately. And without this ability to really tune into your internal world, listen to the guidance, then act on it, a lot of unnecessary suffering is going to get created, because your internal world is pulling you to a life that actually fits well with you, based off of your conditions in the present moment, based off of your current psychology, your current energy levels, your current values, what's going to fit you, etc. Right, so maybe it's telling you that you got to go and travel. Maybe it's telling you that, who knows, right? It's telling you all sorts of things dependent upon your circumstances. And you're just very safe to trust that. Right? That's it. You're safe to tune into it, right? Really be honest about what it's telling you, and then trust that. If something is making you habitually frustrated and exhausted, right, you're safe to have some boundaries around that thing, to maybe not engage as much, right? If something is just always leaving you frustrated, exhausted, drained, right? This is a way that your body tells you that, yeah, this isn't working. You're safe to organize your life in a different way so that you don't always feel that way. Right? If you're always feeling stressed, maybe in relation to a certain person, right, you're actually safe to set some boundaries in the relationship. Right? You're safe to let go of certain relationships. You're safe to get into other connections and relationships. Right? So it's like this very just spontaneous attunement based off of your needs in the present, rather than going on autopilot and then just kind of being mechanical, because our subconscious kind of just repeats the patterns it's been ingrained with in order to really just conserve energy for our survival. And that's fine, but when the patterns aren't very, when they're not serving us, well, then it's not fine. Right? Then that mechanism is not really functioning very well. And we got to learn to disrupt the patterns, form new ones, and then attune to them continuously, determining whether or not they're really giving us value or whether they're just simply taking away value. So again, when you just feel that pull towards something, right, you might not be able to explain it now, but when you just really have that intuitive urge towards something, you're safe to really just explore it. You're safe to really just move towards it When you have that intuitive urge away from something, right? When your nervous system is giving you those signals to just not engage with something because it's going to drain you, it's going to leave you feeling exhausted, you're safe to not engage with that thing, to have some boundaries around that thing. This gets really tricky when you're disconnected from your body, when your nervous system isn't regulated, which is why I'm telling you that you need to connect with your body. You need to learn to inhabit your body. This is how you're going to just naturally regulate, feel more grounded, feel more present. Once you're able to really inhabit your body, presence comes automatically. This ability to listen to your internal world comes automatically. Responding instead of reacting comes automatically. Right? We're always reacting to life when we're not grounded in our bodies. We don't feel safe. We're not in our bodies in the first place because we don't feel safe being in the body. Right? When you're grounded in the body, self-compassion naturally arises. Compassion for other people naturally arises. It just becomes the organic way of being. When you're habitually disconnected from it, then you feel numb, you feel dull, you don't really understand what I'm even talking about when I say the internal guidance system, and a lot of other problems exist. I can go on forever. So why do you feel so unsafe listening to your internal guidance system? Why do you feel unsafe just being in your body? Why do you feel unsafe just learning to be present and inhabit the space that you occupy, really feeling into the space that you occupy, right? Attuning to the qualitative experience of yourself, the feelings, the sensations, what it feels like to really just be firmly stable in your body. Right? This is really interesting stuff because when you're firmly stable in your body, things can't really throw you off as well. Sensations, experiences, they don't throw you off as well. Things throw you off, you get reactive, you shut down, etc. when you're very disconnected from the body. So let's flip this paradigm upside down of the body being this kind of dumb hunk of meat to the body being a highly intelligent system. Let's flip the paradigm of just listening to the mind for everything to learning to integrate all the parts of us, including the mind, and taking them all into consideration. Learning to listen to intuition, to emotion, to our energy levels, to what excites us, to our intrinsic motivation, etc. Right? We have to just include this large spectrum of what's going on inside of us and then allow this to influence us. Right? And it's really this balance between listening to your internal world and then also listening to other people. Because you do need the help of other people. You can't do this on your own. You got to read books. You got to get the help that you actually need. You need the support of other people as well. So let's not make this too individualistic. I don't want anyone to interpret it like that. In fact, really reading a lot of books, getting the support you need from other people, learning from other people is going to help you 1,000 times more. You cannot do this on your own. Just throw that one completely in the trash. Right? Just another quick summary of a core point that I had is really just structuring time every single day to just learning to be in your body, typically through a meditation practice. Right? Without this ability to just be in your body, right? Without just meditating, essentially, you're always just reacting to experience. You're not existing inside of your body. You're always just stuck in your head and kind of disassociated, and you're on autopilot, like I was saying. Right? Really keep that in mind. You are on autopilot. Are you present right now in your gut, or is it just tense? Are you present right now in your heart space? Are you present right now at the core of your body? Do you feel the sensations right now in your body, or is it just like this kind of scary place to inhabit? That's it for this video. If you're interested in working one-to-one with me, you can apply to do so. Link is in the pinned comment. Take it easy.